Alright, so since we get a heat pump, we're gonna install the heat pump in the storage room, which is on the other side of that wall, behind the toilet room. But we're gonna get an outside unit, so we need to make some 45mm holes in the wall here. So I want to go underneath the floor with it, and then get out outside, and we should get our outside unit here straight besides our front door, as that seems a logical place. I mean, we got the sun full on there in the morning, so it means we got the best heat in this position in the morning, and it's also nearby, and it doesn't sit in the way in the front yard, in my opinion. And since these things should be quite silent these days, it should be alright to put it in the front yard, and we will never hear it, as we will have triple glass in our house, and I don't think any of our neighbors will ever complain because nobody sits outside in the front yard, and the thing should be really silent. I mean, our other neighbors also got one, and I can see the thing, but I never hear it, so I think we're good by doing it. So let's make these holes in the wall so we can put hoses through for the heating system. Alright, so we cleaned out the bottom floor a little bit, and I got all the stuff to install the floor heating here. So we're gonna work on getting that all installed. So that's gonna take some time to get it all in, but if it's in, we're one step further again. So let's just keep going, clean this whole floor out, get a special foil in to insulate the floor heating, and then we need to do the steel thread system, and then the hoses come on top. So let's just start working on that. Alright, so we got the distributor in place, so this should all be alright so far. So now we just need to get cleaning here, so everything becomes clean. And we can start wrapping the floor with foil, and then start with all the pipe work. So that's still gonna take some time, but just the cleaning is already a lot of time, but it just has to happen. So this is probably the cleanest that we get our house for a while again. As I spent the whole day vacuuming here, so I cleaned out everything. I poured some cement here and there. We had a little hole, so that all filled up, but this is all clean enough to walk on my socks. I used a big vacuum for that, so that really helped doing that. And now everything is just cleaned out again, and we can start putting everything in the ground. So we're gonna start with the insulating foil, and once we got the insulating foil in, then we can do the steel threads like them. They go over top of the foil, and on top of the steel threads we're gonna add all the piping for the floor heating. So I'm really looking forward to having that all done, because it's gonna be a lot of work, and finally having floor heating. That's so nice. we got all the foil in the living room, and I also put some nets in already, so that way this is all gonna be to tighten the floor heating too. So it's coming together really nice. I only got it done for the living room at this moment and the toilet room, but we still need to do the kitchen and also the hallway and the storage room and the utility room. So that's for another evening. Alright, so the kitchen also has the aluminium foil in, and I also put all the metal wire on top. So the kitchen is also ready. I still need to do a part of the living room, as that's quite with the complicated corners there, but I like to do them after I did all the straight and square corners, as the kitchen is nice and square, so it's easy. While in the living room I have a lot of angles, so I rather use my leftovers for all the angles. That seems to make a lot more sense to me. We still need to do our hallway and also the storage area, or the utility room here where the washing machine is gonna sit. So that will be tomorrow, but I think we're making good progress. Yes, this is taking a lot of time, but we're also gonna have a lot of benefit of it in the future if you have floor heating. So I really like it so far, and I just hope it's gonna work out really nice. So we got the divider hanging here, and I got the first hose pulled up here, so we're gonna have to connect it to the divider, and we just got connections for that. So these are connections which we can use to get the divider connected. That way we can wire up everything ourselves or line up everything ourselves, and we should be able to get everything waterproof, so we can start making all the loops in the ground. And that's gonna be a lot of work, as we did count that we should be using about 7,500 steel wires to do that. So it's 7,500 times making a knot in the ground. Sounds like a really fun job, but we'll have to do it to get this all prepared. So let's just get started with that. So to start putting all the hoses in here, we have this nice roller trolley, so we can just pull the hose and it keeps rolling off the hose. So looks like really useful tool this way. So let's get started with that. So I got 2 groups in so far, and that's what we did yesterday in 5 hours of time. So that went really slow, but the struggle is that we have a lot of corners to go there. So I think this was the hardest part. Now we can make straight lines and squares, so it should go a lot faster. So let's just get started again and hope it goes a lot faster today.
Prognosen gebaseerd op horoscopen. Yep. Dus wij hebben altijd gelijk.
Gestrande Nederlanders in het Midden-Oosten. Alarmcentrales worden sinds afgelopen.